Thanks for staying with us on News Desk. Now, in a classic case of silver linings in a dark cloud, the Rastafarian children rejected by Achimota School because of their dreadlocks have been made offers of admission by half a dozen schools, including some running international programs with full scholarships plus meals. This is coming at a time when the two sisters of one of the boys who were admitted by St. John's Grammar were also asked to cut their hair following the controversy. Before we get into that, let's first hear from members of Parliament who have been expressing their views on the brewing rasta controversy.
What has been the convention? Over the years, people have come to school there, and these people have gone to the system with specific laid down rules and regulations that they've used to govern the school all this while, and nothing has happened. We had not received any complaints for some time now, not until this time. My problem is that if we don't take care and we try to just bend the rules a little, a time will come we may not be able to meet the demands. People that will come with said demands, we will not be able to meet, because then we will want to please everybody halfway somehow, or we'll try to give everybody access to education because the person has this religion or sect or belongs to this sect or religion, and this is the way they want to behave or dress, or the way they want to conduct themselves. We have to allow them to be in the system. I don't think that can be a very good thing for us to start at all as a nation. So for me, I have my own personal issues, and as much as we want to help children, I want to help these young people grow through education. We have to also help them. We have to polish them. We have to mold them to become very good citizens and conduct themselves well as citizens of Ghana.
I don't have any problem with anybody being a Rastafarian, but in as much as we would want to train our people and our kids learn from each other, I don't find anything wrong with the dread or the locks that anybody do have. But in as much as we are training them in an institution where we want to give them guidance, where we want to give them a certain training that would equip them for the future, that they would not unduly expose themselves and others onto copying blindly. I believe we must abide by the rules and regulations the schools will prescribe. And I sincerely believe that Achimota and any other school is trying to insist on that. In as much as we are doing that, does not mean necessarily that we want to deny anybody of that person's creed, color, religion, or any sort of association that the person would want to have. Let us be emphatic on that. I believe that they must abide by those rules. Otherwise, this is the first test of anybody trying to get into an institution of training. So if you cannot abide by the first rules and regulations that the school set or the institution set, it will become very difficult for you.
Can anybody with dreadlocks enter the Ghana Armed Forces? Can you? Or Ghana Police? Or can you imagine you have a surgeon who wears these dreadlocks? Can you imagine the kind of contamination that will? You see, so religion aside, you must be disciplined. You understand? You must be disciplined, and I believe that we cannot be making, taking decisions for our children at this time. You understand? My father was a Methodist. When I finished University of Ghana, I decided to join the Church of Pentecost. What about that? You understand? So what it means is that let's allow the children to develop freely without any interference. Insofar as religion and other things are concerned, the most important thing is that let's give the child the required training now, and that is secondary education. So that I listened to the small boy and he says he wants to be an engineer. Right. You understand? Right. He wants to be an engineer. Fine. What do you need? You need education. He said he wanted to do general science. If your dreadlocks will prevent you from doing the general science, that is what you want to achieve in the future. Why? Will you die if you take it off? You understand? But you wear it and you don't get access. So, my brother, yes, we have our, some they say what we have all the, the freedoms, right. But then we must be responsible. It has a limitation. You understand? Your right, begins when ends where someone's also. So insofar as I decided to become a member of Parliament, I cannot come here in shorts. I can't wear any hat, to this place. But I have the right to do it outside this place. But once you enter the presence of Parliament, you need to go by the rules.
Achimota School is a public school. It's a school that is operating under the Ghana Education Service. if the Ghana Education Service has some set of rules that prevents people with dreadlocks from entering secondary schools, then so be it. But I have seen students in other schools who have dreadlocks on, and I'm wondering why Achimota School would want to prevent such a child who is being funded by the government of Ghana, not Achimota School. It's not being provided scholarship by the Achimota School. This is a child who passed his exam, who went through the BEC examination, and is being admitted, and his fees are being paid with taxpayers' money. We are paying monies to Achimota School to run their school. So if the GES can tell us that they have a set of rules that prevents people from putting on dread, then that is fine. But if the Ghana Education Service do not have such regulations, then I think Achimota School is wrong in denying this child access to their school.
But Achimota has come out to defend this, that they have a set of rules and regulations.
Well,
whether the government is paying them to run their school or not.
That will be the Achimota of old.
The dread, let me educate you.
That will be the Achimota of old. Today, every secondary school is fully funded by government.
Right.
And not a free SH.
But in spite of that, they have their own principles.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, that so we should have a common set of rules, a common set of principles. You understand? So you cannot tell me that an Ahmadiyya school or a Muslim school will not admit a Christian into that school because they have a certain set of rules. No, they cannot do that. Once it's a public institution and the government has placed the child in that school, let the rules apply. Let's not treat anybody special. For me, I disagree with the school, and I think that they need to reconsider their position.
We have rules and regulations that governs everything that we do. Otherwise, people will take the law, or they'll take their liberty to the extreme. Your liberty should be guided by the norms, the rules, the regulations that governs every society. One of the rules that we have is our constitution, and our constitution permits people to associate with their faith, or kind of faith that you have, you can associate with them. And we know Rastafarian is a religion, they believe in that. Christians, Muslims, and this is a plural society, even though we have Christians in the majority. Having said that, the school also have regulations, just as we have the constitution that permits everybody to do whatever you want to do within some framework of the rules. So if the school authorities, the school have rules that governs them, I think that it is imperative for the parents to sit down with the school to agree that yes, indeed, you have rules and regulation, but our religion also permits us to carry the rasta. In addition to that, they should understand that the school and the child has obligation to attend school according to our constitution. So you cannot deny the child. The parents should also understand that they have obligation to allow the child to go to school in accordance to the rules.
Now, one of the students at the center of the impasse, Tyrone Magai, should be spoiled for choice with the office at his disposal. One of the international schools offering him admission would not want its name published yet, but has been speaking about the offer.
We believe that every student should not be denied education. We also believe that, yes, students need to learn to obey rules, but those rules should in any way deny students the opportunity to education. It's a basic right for kids. Well, our own rules allow us to permit students that are Rastafarians, perhaps who have dreadlocks. Okay, so we felt that why not give them the opportunity? But we have to discuss also the cost that's going to be, because we're very much aware that for students that are enrolling in the free SHS, they may not be able to afford international education. So it's not just a matter of giving them an alternative, but you also need to look at supporting them cost-wise. That's why we're reaching out so that we can give them that offer so that the education wouldn't be curtailed at that age. We learned one of them performed marvelously well in their BCE, and yet they find it difficult to get a school to enroll and continue education. And I believe that's a bit unfortunate.